it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Wednesday, November 9th. So today we will have the moon move out of this Taurus energy that, of course, we just had our full moon total lunar eclipse in, and we will be moving out of this Taurus energy and moving into Gemini energy. So let's remove the fact that this was a full moon. Let's remove the fact that this was a total lunar eclipse, which, by the way, we will not have another total lunar eclipse until 2025. So the chapter that we're about to enter into will last up until that major event in 2025. But if we were to remove all those elements, anytime that we are transiting from the earthy, low and slow comfort zone area of Taurus energy to Gemini energy, we always get a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, a little bit more chatty. Why? That Gemini energy is an air sign. We move up out of the physical body, out of our physical five senses, and we tap into the mental plane, the intellect. We have multiple windows opening for us in our brains. We have lots to think about, lots to process. The Gemini energy wants to explore the polarization, the dualistic nature of the choices of the extremes that we're currently in. And of course, we're still in Scorpio season where extremes are the name of the game. So when we factor in the fact that, we're still in the full moon energy, we can definitely add a little bit more intensity into this particular energy. When we factor in this was an eclipse energy, then we still are at the mercy of some unexpected thoughts, ideas, situations taking place. And we really do have to just kind of continue to surrender to see how this particular eclipse energy is going to unfold. So the moon is going to go void, of course, at 7:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will be locking into that Gemini energy 8:38 a.m. So this is the very, very quietest, I will say, day in the cosmos that we've had for a super, super, super extended period of time. There are only 5 different aspects here today. 4 of them involve the moon. The only one that does not involve the moon involves the sun making its yearly opposition to Uranus, which we're going to talk about here in a second. And this particular energy, because it's the day after a pretty significant moon event, we will likely be feeling absolutely exhausted in our physical realms and overworked and overwhelmed in our inner realm. Try saying that 50,000 times fast. Anyways, we have a very quote unquote quiet day in the cosmos. However, the full moon eclipse energy that we just had yesterday, a lot of that energy is kind of flowing over into today. We will be having those lunar hangover symptoms, which pretty much just feels like you had a hard night out. It's going to take a while in order to get back to ourselves, if you will. And I don't know if we can ever get back to ourselves because of this eclipse energy has essentially changed the foundation of who it is that we are. There are things that have happened to us that we cannot rewind, that we cannot unknow. And of course, they essentially change the fingerprint, the energetic print of who it is that we are and who it is that we will continue to be. So the very first aspect that we have going on here today is the moon trining Pluto. So the moon is still very much in this Taurus energy. The Earth on Earth gives us this trine. A trine is a very beautiful aspect. The moon, of course, being our emotions, our unconscious self, our intuition, and Pluto being the great transformer, we can definitely see where there has been a shift, likely triggered and activated by this particular full moon energy and, of course, the eclipse energy. Because Pluto wants to highlight for us where there's been pain and trauma and struggle, we are definitely pushing ourselves out of that particular mindset, emotional set, if you will, and we are flipping on the switch to flip the script and tune into the empowerment energy that we can pluck out of some of the difficulties, obstacles, and struggles that many of us have been experiencing. Now, at 3:26 a.m., and again, Eastern Standard Time, we have the sun in Scorpio. sitting across from, directly opposing Uranus, the great awakener, who of course is retrograde in Taurus energy. Scorpio and Taurus energy sits across from one another in the zodiac wheel. We had a lot of polarization, trying to find balance between those two energies with this full moon eclipse story that we've been in since 2021. Now, this particular energy aspect, influence, is something that happens each and every single year. However, it happens at different times in the year. It happens in different signs within the year. But of course, Uranus has been in Taurus for a couple of years and will continue to be there for quite some time, which means that in Scorpio season, we are always going to have the sun sitting across from Uranus in this Taurus energy. As Uranus kind of moves through the degrees of Taurus and makes its way to the ending of this Taurus energy, we will eventually see Uranus move into Gemini energy. And of course, that'll be a totally different point in the calendar that we will have this yearly aspect. So what do we get when the sun, the life force energy, our consciousness shines a bright light on this Uranian energy, pushing us into change, pushing us to open our minds, pushing us to totally detach from some of the things that we were too interwoven with? What do we get? Well, we get a want, need, and desire to bust out, to break free. We want more independence. We want more freedom. We want more spontaneity. We want more choice. We want more options. We want to shift. We want to change. Now, we have to watch out for, jumping in before we're given the green light, go ahead to do so. Keep in mind, we're not in a time of action. We are in a time of realization of the actions in which we are wanting to align with. Okay, this is all about strategy. Now, there is a big change on the horizon. We're in Scorpio season. This is the season of change and transformation, renewal and rebirth. This Uranian energy is constantly pushing for us to progressively be better, to innovate, to change, to, keep up with the Joneses as far as pushing the boundaries of your comfort zone. Okay. So when you decide that you want more out of your life, suddenly that requires you to be a little bit of a different level version of yourself. However, many of us holding on for dear life of who it is that we were, who it is that we are, the people, places, and things that we've identified our identity with, and still wanting dramatic change. So this is the struggle that we're in. This is what the eclipse energy was all about, was seeing what chains we have in life and which ones are able to actually be broken, setting us free, liberating us, letting us move on to a different scene. Now, the moon is going to semi-square Chiron. This is likely going to bring out all of our doubts, all of our fears, all of our insecurities. And you know what? We're still in this full moon eclipse energy, so that is to be expected at 7:01 a.m., just as the moon in Taurus is going to do its last full blast of energy before going void, of course. The moon is going to sextile with Jupiter. This brings back our positivity. This brings back our optimism. This brings back a little bit of a silver lining for us to see where it is that, yes, some struggles, some obstacles, some challenges have been divinely scripted in order for us to see where new opportunities are presenting themselves. We are in the topic and theme of destruction and rebirth, death, endings, beginnings, initiation. Again, we're just not in a time of action. This is a realization of what is falling away in order for there to be a space to create something new. The last aspect that we're going to have here today is at 5:53 p.m. So this is with the moon now in Gemini energy. So we're curious, we're stimulated, we are a little bit chatty, we want to open up our minds, we want to think outside of the box. And this particular aspect is with Neptune, who is retrograde in Pisces energy. This is going to be a beautiful time to channel some insights. This is going to be a beautiful time to really contemplate our choices, our options in manifesting certain elements of our our dream, of our vision, of our goals. This is going to blend our intuition with our intellect, and from that, hopefully pluck out a logical, practical strategy on how it is that we're going to go ahead and start working on bringing some of these new ideas, these new inspirations to life.